Hello again. So this is a budget version of the Shockwave Druid that I've showcased before. One of the previous versions was one with Armageddon and another one with Enigma and Cyclone Armor. But I thought I'd do a showcase of this character on the online ladder hardcore season with just some self-found gear. So at the moment I am level 71, haven't fully assigned my stat points, and I'm midway through Act 3, so I'm just going to go kill the Trav now, or the High Council, and just show you how well this build does with budget gear, or even low level gear. So I think when it's geared up, this is a really good Trav and Chaos Sanctuary runner, and just really safe for clearing everything in Hell. I'll go over the skill build first. So obviously this is a Shockwave build, so 20 into Maul, 20 into Shockwave as usual, with 1 into all the prerequisites to enter bear form, nothing in the elemental skill tree, and in summoning 1 into all the summons, and then I usually max Oak Sage next, just for the highest amount of life and safety as possible. In a non-hardcore build you could probably leave this till last. After you've maxed Oak Sage, I've been putting the rest into Summon Grizzly, just because it makes for a good boss killer, whereas Shockwave is really good AoE, but not so much single target. As I level up, once I max Grizzly, I'll just put the rest into Summon Direwolf, and just for the live longer effect on the rest of my summons, because of that, where was it? The bonus that the other summons receive of 15% life per level, which is quite a lot actually. I'll go over the gear I'm using now quickly before I do this. So this is actually a really good build. This is a really good find, I mean. So this is a 5 Shockwave helm that I found, but to be honest, it's not as great as some other +2 skillers. Even a Lore helm can be really good with this, because that's +1 to all skills. And just a Jalal's in general is way better than this, even though it's not as much plus to Shockwave, it's +4, it's got all the other added benefits, so that's a way better find. I'll go over alternative items as well at the end of this. This is just a Viper Magi that I found. You can also use a Smoke rune word, which is Nephlum, so that's really easy to find. All of these individual items should be about a pull or less in terms of rune worth. So you can find all of that just by farming Countess in Act 1. I've got the Rhyme Shield for Cannot Be Frozen, and just some resistances and block rate. This is just a Spirit Sword. The Amulet's probably my best individual item. So that's a +2 shapeshifting. The faster cast rate doesn't really matter that much, but it's always nice, especially for in-game builds. This is a poor man's Elder's Boots. So instead of the plus life, I got +40 fire resistance and some magic find. This is a caster amulet ring. This is a dwarf star, so this is the only thing that I have that isn't something that I found, so I traded for this, just because it's really good against the Hydras that the High Council summon. And this is a Trangles, just for the faster cast rate. All these charms are just resistance charms. I got the body parts for the Act 3 quest, because I haven't actually done it yet. That's just a shitty Greaves, and then just resistances to get as high as possible. And then in my stats, I did enough to equip a Spirit Shield, which I'll show you later, and then the rest into Vitality. Anything else to showcase? On the F-hand, I don't really have anything yet, but you could put a melee weapon as well, since you do have max Shockwave, but we'll go over those options at the end as well. So yeah, really budget. Nothing here is really worth more than a pull individually, so you could farm Countess for even half a day and have way better gear than this. But I'll show you High Council now. So go into bear form. So it's a bit of a slower build, but with this amount of gear it's actually a really fast clear rate considering. I'll go over my Merc as well, even though he's probably about to die, but I'll resummon him. So go in, this is the worst possible fanaticism aura buff. So hopefully he's the one with fanaticism. All those summons are dead. Cool, and then just go clear the rest of them. Hello, back again. So I've leveled up a little bit, about half an hour more from that Trav run we just saw, and I got some better items now. So I'm in Act 4, about to do a Chaos run. Haven't done the quest yet. So I'm 72 now, a little bit better than before, but we'll go over the new gear that I have, which is still cheap, still what I consider budget, but now good enough to do any content of the game, and I think pretty close to maximum. So what's changed now is that I have a Lawbringer rune word, so I can apply the Decrepify for killing Fizz immunes, and also for getting through Undead really quickly. I got that Spirit Shield now, instead of the Rhyme Shield, so I got a faster cast rate and just more overall skill points. Buy for Magi, same as before, we got the Jalals instead of the 5 Shockwave Helm. And what's different? Oh, put on a string of ears, and now I'm using a Ravenfrost and just a dual Leech Ring. And then just those same shitty Scuffed Elders as before, with the Triangles. Same charms as before, just to max out, don't have any skillers in yet. And on the offhand now, I'm equipping a Rib Cracker. So if you don't have a CTA build, or you're not strong enough for you're not rich enough is what I mean for CTA, on the offhand you can always equip a melee weapon. So on our primary, I would put something that either procs Decrepify or amplify damage, or just let's say a Hoto plus Spirit combination for just the best shockwave damage possible. When you get into a boss monster, you can switch over to that that physical damage to use with Maul instead. So what I'll be doing in this Chaos run is I'll be switching to Rib Cracker when we get to Diablo. Just because Maul's pretty good. So instead of a Rib Cracker, this could be a Black Flail, it could be a Windhammer, just anything with Crushing Blow, anything to beat the bosses quicker. So I haven't upped this yet, I will probably do that in the future, but it still slaps pretty hard. Sweet, and I didn't show it before, but here's my Mercenary. So I got a Smoke Rune Word, just to max out his resistances, Rock Stopper, which I found just for the damage reduced by 10%, and also more resistances, and the hit recovery. And this is just an Ethereal Viper Fork. I haven't found a good Eth base for a Insight Rune Word, which is what I'd prefer. So I think an Insight, a good base would be between sort of 100 to 800 min-max damage once you put the Insight in there. Alternatives, you can use a Reaper's Toll or a Obedience Rune Word, but I really like Insight. It's just I'd rather not have the Mana Potion on my belt, just have another Super Healing Potions instead. But I'll go through the Chaos run now, so this will be the first time I've done it, but still pretty confident that it'll be an easy run. So I don't think it'll be very fast, but it'll be really comfortable. So right now using the Lawbringer, getting through it quickly. Oh, I'll go through the skills as well. So same as before, I've just almost maxed out Grizzly now. Cool. And what I've found with the Lawbringer, because you do have the Sanctuary Aura here, level 18 in this case, is all the undead lose their physical immunity as well as getting pushed back. So that's really useful here, as most of the physical immunes in the game are undead anyway, and the pushback is really helpful, especially against things like souls and dolls, those things in the game which kill you the fastest. But I might experiment with a Lacerator later instead of Lawbringer, but to be honest, I really like Lawbringer. It's really good. I don't think the extra 50% physical damage is that crucial in this case. Cool, decided to cut out and just run into the middle of Chaos Sanctuary. Still same gear, same items, same everything, but just thought I'd skip the River of Flame part just to get into a more condensed area. So right now we're a bit more surrounded. Should be a bit of showcase of the build though. So we got some champions, mixture of different mobs, but it's all Gucci because you know I'm gangs. Try to keep track of your Oak Sage as you can. Resummon when you can. Once I get a little bit higher level, the summons will stick around a lot more just because of Dire Wolf. I've only just maxed Grizzly, so I've only still got the one base point into Dire Wolf. So they're pretty weak right now. Oh my god, this party is pretty slow. There you are. Sweet, and here's the Lawbringer being pretty handy because they never really get a chance to attack. Kill these boys. Got the Grand Vizier, that's all that matters. Can skip the rest of them. I ran out of mana pretty quick. What I may do is I'll cut out and then I'll bring you back for Diablo just to show you the Rib Cracker in action. Okay. I forgot to start recording once I started Diablo, so we're kind of halfway through here, but hopefully you get the idea of how to go against him here. So we got Diablo. I'm going to see if I can apply Decrepify on him. My summons are being idiots. Cool, we got that on him. I'm going to... oh, that's the Ravens maybe. But now I've switched over to the Rib Cracker, and if I can get a hit, which I can't because I'm level 72. Yeah. If I was a higher level, this would be much easier. So what I might do is switch back and just finish him off with Shockwave. Anyway, that's the idea of the build. Oh yes, a Trav Run! Sick! Yeah, I'll just go over the build one more time, but as you can see we saw like a bare bones budget build to a more affordable one. I think in honesty any of these items individually aren't worth more than a pull rune, so like I said you can just run Countess in Act 1 Hell and get more than enough wealth to make a build that can do anything in the game. Things in the future I would probably get, which I'll cover in a future video with my higher level Druid, is I'd probably up the Rib Cracker. Eventually you'll go into Enigma. You can use a Lacerator, which I have in my stash. So you can use a Lacerator, just because amplified damage does increase physical damage more than Decrepify. You can do, in the offhand build or on your Mercenary, you can do a Reaper's Toll. Mine's Ethereal, which I'll put a Zod in eventually if I am going to use it as an offhand. Yeah, and then ideally you'd put either shapeshifting or summoning GCs in here. Yeah, any questions, just let me know and I'll answer them as soon as I can. Right, thank you.